There are 6 basic human emotions: sadness, happiness, fear, anger, disgust, and surprise. Now, every other emotion that you can feel is a derivative of one of these and is part of your life, but these are the 6 basic human emotions. So when you are feeling a great deal of emotions, it would be interesting and wise and probably beneficial to look at it from those 6 basic ones and ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why? Where is it leading me? But the topic that we're going to talk about today is the idea of jealousy. Now, jealousy is most often misperceived and misused. Jealousy means that you have something that you think someone else is going to take from you. So when you have a partner and that partner meets someone new and you are jealous of that other person because you think they're going to take that person from you, that is what jealousy means. Envy means you're looking at somebody who has something and you're saying that not only do you want it, you think that other person shouldn't have it. So most of the times when we're saying, oh, we're jealous, or we believe that we're feeling jealous, it's actually envy, which is a much deeper and stronger emotion to associate with people you do and people you don't know. And it's a big emotion to carry with you all the time. And the world that we live in is predicated on you being in this place, and to look at the world and say, oh, this person has this person has that, and I want it too. And most of the time when we feel this envy and think this other person shouldn't have it, we also tend to degrade all the work that that person had to put in to create this circumstance or situation or thing in their life. And that is a very unfair way to look at the world for both you and that other person. And the way that I always understood these concepts was, if I want something that somebody else has, I would have had to make every single decision at the time under the certain context and circumstances that that person did in order to have that thing. And when you can take a step back and be like, all right, maybe I want this car that they have. Do I want every single other thing that they have in their life? Because they're all connected. Every single thing that person has, from the car to the kids to the spouse to the house, all of it is connected to the decisions that this person was continually making. So not only would you have to accept that thing that they have, you'd have to accept every other circumstance that that person also has. And for the most part, you probably don't want everything that person has. And that is why I choose to not look at life through that lens, because it's not productive, it's not helpful, and it doesn't actually guide me into any sort of direction. It just keeps you stuck where you are, continuing to talk about and to think about things that actually aren't helping you. So when these moments come up and you look at someone and you're feeling envy, which is different than jealousy like we talked about, what does it mean to you that this other person has that? And are you using this moment to actually keep yourself stuck? Because for the most part, that is what we're doing, is we're saying this person has this thing that I want, but they were able to achieve it somehow, and for me, I can't do that. And it's ironic that in this world where we can get anything we want at our fingertips, that we ever feel like we can't create the same circumstances that other people have in our own lives, but that are better for us because they are more adapt to the life that we actually want to live. So when you go on Amazon and you can buy anything that you want, or you can go on any of these websites and at a snap of your fingers have anything you want, it's an interesting paradigm that we are also equally believing that we can't have any of these things that other people have. And most of the time it's because, well, you're going on a website where you buy a thing. You can't go on Amazon and buy a new partner or a new house in the same way or as easily. So there's more work that goes into achieving these things that different people have. And another big thing about it is we look at these people who have the car and the spouse, and the house and these vacations, and we look at it and have been brought up in a society that tells us these are the things that we should want, that these are the things that make us as a person successful. And that may or may not be true for you. Do you actually believe that you want these things that have been constantly portrayed to you as the thing to want? Do you actually want the kids and the spouse and living in that neighborhood and driving that car? Is that actually what you want? Or are you surrounded by people who have that and who are telling you that you should want it as well? And yes, society at large tells us to expect certain things and to want certain things, but at the end of the day, there's no one that's coming into your house, writing everything that you do down and giving you a grade and saying, you're just not achieving at the level that I want, and therefore you should change your life. And if you do have people who are coming to your space, to your life, and saying things like, well, you don't have this thing, therefore you're not worthy, or you aren't good enough, or you'll never have it, ask yourself why those people are in your life. And that may be people who you're very close to, and that is something that you need to reevaluate for yourself. And that doesn't mean you have to cut people out, but you do really need to take a look at, how are other people making me feel, and why am I okay with it? Why am I choosing to let these people in? So it seems like when we have these feelings of envy, we can go into this rabbit hole of feeling unworthy and like nothing is ever going to happen for us, or we can choose to take the route of empowerment and say, you know what? There is people in my life that are telling me that I can't achieve certain things, or that the things that I want are dumb, and I don't like feeling that way. So instead of just falling into this misery where you're agreeing with people who either you don't really like that much, or you feel like you have to, or some other circumstance that isn't helpful, decide what life it is that you want to live and work on creating that, instead of looking at other people and what they do or don't have and comparing yourself. All that energy used to compare yourself or question yourself or try to degrade them, take that energy back and focus it on yourself. All the time that is spent pretending that we have large amounts of money by buying these ridiculous things, we could actually just take that money and that time and create that sort of wealth that we're looking for. But it has to come back to a mindset thing. And the mindset that we are in is what we are sharing to the world. When you are a person that is constantly belittling others and complaining about other people, you're not creating a positive environment for yourself or the people around you. And how could you transition to being in that place where you do have all those things that other people have if you're constantly stuck at looking at what you don't have? And being grateful for what you do have will allow more things to come into your life, because you already know how to take care of the things that you already have. For the people who win the lottery or get a lot of money from an inheritance, a lot of the times those people run through that money very quickly because they haven't been able to grow their understanding of how to deal with more money, more expectations, more things in their life. So they fritter it all away and end up in the same exact place they were beforehand. And this time more sad, more upset because they had access to this greater life or more money or that house, and they lost it because they were trying to keep up with a game that they could never win. So the consumerism in this world has taught us that you can get access to anything you want at the touch of your finger. And by doing so, we have also removed our ability to work for things and to have this delayed gratification, which I have talked about before. So when we can just get anything we want at our fingertips, it's very easy to just look at another person and say, well, I want that, and then sit on the couch and not do anything about it. Well, that person most likely didn't just sit there and all of these things appeared in their living room. And if they did, just like we talked about, it's probably going to go away very quickly. And I have talked to many people who have taken on situations and circumstances because they were told, you're too old, you need to get married, it's time for you to settle down, you need to shift out of this phase. And 15, 20, 25 years later, a lot of those people are in unhappy situations that they don't see a way out. So looking at these people who have these things and saying, oh, they're living such a grand life, is also doing a disservice to both of you, because you are removing any actual feelings this person has about the circumstances of their life. And very few people are living in situations that they are 100% excited about all the time. And we have to be more realistic about the situations and the decisions that we're making when it comes to other people, because it is unfair of us to have these expectations and to put all these people on a pedestal. So take these people off the pedestal that you've put them on. Realize that you can create any of the things that you want, because you have circumstances in your life that you can work on, or opportunities that you can take on and move your life in these directions that you want to. Actually figure out which direction it is that you want to go in and pursue that. Decide what success means to you. Is it running a Fortune 500 company? Is it starting your own business? Is it having a family? Is it a combination of all of these things? And you can achieve all of these things, but you have to put in the work and keep putting in the work. Sitting back and saying, oh, I wish I had this, doesn't actually make it appear in your living room. And even if it did, like winning the lottery, we wouldn't know what to do with these new things that we have, and we would lose them. So the next time somebody is envious or jealous or using any of these words, take a step back and ask yourself, is this actually what I'm feeling? What is it that I can do to get myself closer to the life that I want? And sitting there on the sidelines, wishing and hoping and not planning isn't gonna get you there. So instead of being envious and jealous, let's take the power back, follow the steps to get ourselves the life that we want. Figure out what life it is that we want. Let go of this idea that we can wish ourselves into this new world, and accept that it is the work that you put in on the day-to-day that's going to shift you into the person and the version of yourself that you've always imagined yourself to be. So go forth, enjoy this life, and this world as it has always been is yours. Thank you.